What's going on, guys? Mitch here, and today we're taking a look at a new pair of bibs from my friends over at Assos. This is the brand new Equipe RS S11 bib short, and I'm going to butcher the name multiple times, but I think they're called the Schtradivari. SCH Schtradivari, something like that. I can't pronounce it. We'll learn together. Quick note, here we go. Hopefully this is going to actually show this stuff. Offered in two lengths, standard and long. I'm obviously 6'3" and went with the long. And obviously that has not been something available to me for a few years now, other than the GTOs. So I got a few pairs of these to check out and play with, but let's open up the first pair. This is my first look at them. I have not even opened the box myself. And I guess, you know what, I should probably show the box if anyone does in fact want to look at it, or scan any of the QR codes. But there you go. What else do we got here? Neo Pro, Equip Racing, blah blah blah. You know, one thing I noticed is they're starting to cut down a lot of their packaging, which is nice. Alright, the unveiling. Let's take a look. Oh, what do we got on the inside? Attitude, zero impact, all consumption, blah blah blah, whatever you want to read that about, that's cool. Less consumption, less waste, less is more. Something that I've been talking about my hair design for many years. How to wash it. You know, they obviously want to sell you their Assos cleansing stuff. I'll be honest, I had a bunch of Assos stuff for a number of years, and all I've been doing is kind of just regular washes and then hang dry. But anyway, I'm probably deteriorating my stuff faster than I'm supposed to. And the bibs themselves. And I could make a nice little background, eh? Look at that. Ooh, how good does that look? Okay, well, let's take a look. So here's the tag, and let's get that off of there. No need for that. If you want to scan that, definitely go ahead and take a look. Climate code 1 of 3, 1, 2, 3 are kind of the three categories. Obviously, summer, spring, fall, and winter. And they also have an all season, just kind of like their rain jackets and stuff. But if you want to look at that, go for it. I will get rid of the background. Go wrap my wife's birthday present with that. Okay, so the bibs themselves. Well, first impressions, they feel really soft. I'm kind of surprised. I didn't expect that. I know that they've changed up a few things on this, and I guess we'll get into that, but I think the primary changes are on the strap design on the back. This little reflective line up the middle. And what looks different here, guys? So this is the back. Remember, this is the Equipe RS. So typically, the strap anchors down a little lower as well. So my understanding is that the way they changed the fabric selection on this, it's more compressive, and they didn't need to actually have that extra anchor point. Now, I don't know if this little strip is like a reinforced thing or not. It might be, and that might kind of alleviate that. But you no longer need to have this big line down your back, which is kind of cool. We still have a lot of the same features. Oh, and I guess I should say this, guys. The liner in this is completely different as well. So brand new chamois in there. Let's take a look. Ooh, this looks like it's borrowed from the GTOs, and it's not around all of it. That's cool. So if you ever had the GTOs, you would have seen there's like little ribs kind of that pop out. And I'm curious why they only did that. Is that on the front or the back? So that would be on the front, from the gripper sliding up, just on the front. That's a nice little design choice. And I will say this from my experience with Assos. They do not make decisions out of, hey, let's try this. Everything on their shorts tends to be extremely thorough and intentional. So, you know what? When there's half of a gripper on it, there's a reason for it. And at a price point like this, guys, I'm not going to have to review, you know, oh yeah, really good fabric and seam work. Like, this is the premium level bib. These should be like a tailored suit. You know, they should be very, very well done. And as far as I can tell, they are. You know, when we do look at the seams in and around, it's they're all hand done. but beautiful. I'm going to flip this inside out and kind of, I guess, start with the chamois for the unboxing. And I will obviously do another video once I have some time in this. And I have not read a whole lot of literature on these. I apologize in advance, other than knowing that they're longer and they've got a new chamois. Okay, so let's take a look here. What do we got? Assos Golden Gate. If you get a little excited, you might even have a Golden Gate Bridge situation. I'm joking. Please don't quote me on that. Looking at this, it looks to be probably the same size as the Equipe RS. As you guys know, I've got about 3 pairs of the Equipe RS S9s that I've been kind of using in conjunction with the Mill GTOs. And as well, I still have another GTS pair. And I'm now, this winter, I'm filming this in February 2024, I'm phasing out my LaColle bibs, and these are kind of taking on the next set. But if we look at this chamois, I'm not going to go into too much detail. They say it's a softer material, and it feels softer, but it could also just be newer. It looks very similar to the current size-wise, I guess. Other than, they always had this seam up the middle. I'm going to go grab a pair of my Equipe RS S9s. They are used, so I apologize if they're covered in dirt. But let me just take a look here. One sec. I do want to compare them. All right, I'm about to, let's just take a quick outline here to compare. I'll put this over to the left. And you can see a couple sharper edges. That is different. So I'm going to throw the S9 Equipe RS down beside it for a side-by-side comparison. So the shape has changed ever so slightly. You can kind of see they've done some stitching up here. They've kind of, interesting. So the old channel went right down the middle and kind of swooped open. Whereas this one now, it looks like they've got a little bit of a narrower bridge at the top there. That's interesting. So a couple minute changes, as well as the overall size of the chamois. I always felt, on these ones, I always end up with about this much of the pad. Not that much, maybe this much. That hangs off the back. And maybe they looked at that situation and said, hey, you know what? Let's save some weight there. I'm assuming that's what they did. Same with the sides that kind of taper off. They've edged all that. Big fan of edging when it comes to chamois, guys. Come on. Otherwise, we still have the ventilation all along the side and up front. We've got 2 holes there. A lot more ventilation up front. Holy, that's going to be very welcome. So I said earlier when I first looked at this, I said, hey, what's the difference down the center here? I said, I don't recall having anything rubbing your twig and berries up front. So they have added a seam. It's obviously no sharp edges or anything like that. But yeah, that's interesting. A lot more ventilation. Just seems to be more thoroughly done. There's a lot more work that's gone on to this chamois. I can't believe that. I did not expect this. I was kind of expecting a different top material and maybe a little tiny reshape, but substantially different. We still have, obviously, the fact that it is not attached down. I'm going to move this off now. Maybe I'll reference it back, but we still have, obviously, the chamois is not attached on the sides, okay? So that I find that when you're in the saddle, having the ability to kind of micro-adjust where it sits, you get so used to it. I really enjoy that because we sit down and we're all a little different, whether our foot's a little longer, or our knees misshapen, or maybe we have a longer leg on one side, whatever. It all kind of, having that adjustability is pretty critical in my opinion. Nice little S11 logo down in the corner here. That's cool. And then, as I mentioned earlier, I'm not going to go into the stitching detail work, but it is really well done, as you'd expect. We've got, I'm trying to figure out why you'd put these big lines on the chamois side down there. Obviously, it folds in nicer, but that's probably just it. But the big thing is all the cooling that's taking place up on the front. That's going to be fantastic. And then we've got this nice little orange fabric as well, that I don't really know why they have that on the inside, but kind of gives me a Bane's Mask vibe, personally. You will enjoy the ride, kind of thing. Another note. Wow. The straps, I don't know if you guys can see this depending, but super, super see-through. Like really, really, that's going to be great for ventilation. And they've kind of separated this in two different lengths, which is interesting, right? So you've got the part that goes over your shoulder, and I mentioned this in a previous video, so my favorite part of Assos is their straps, because they don't bunch up like Lacole. Under pressure, they don't go like this. They're so comfortable under pressure and tons of use. So I like that they kept that. But then they added this section here, which I don't know whether it's tighter or looser, that's what she said, but it seems it's more breathable. So maybe that was a problem in the past, I don't know. But some nice Assos logo work on there, looks solid. The anchor point, how is that anchored? Yeah, just nice and on the front, which is nice. And double stitched on the back, which is also nice. And what else do we got here? Another anchoring point on the back of the orange color, which I didn't think I'd like the orange color, but it actually looks pretty sharp and it is kind of sexy. So they've also added 2 layers and a box on where that strap mounts as well. Cool. And then the back, I'm assuming we'll still have the Assos large embroidered in it. Excellent. So there's your Assos X, your cross, which is probably my favorite feature of this whole thing, is like it doesn't interfere with your heart rate strap, and it's usually right around underneath this is where that strap goes, which is nice. It never gets caught on anything. But engineered in Switzerland. Once again, the washing instructions are there in case you forget. Nice little detail. And then we should have 2 logos on the sides that come down the front. And this is where they usually throw their fancy logos on it. So there you go. If it wants to focus anytime. So there's that word that I couldn't really pronounce. Schtradivari TRS11 long leg, which is only 3 centimeters. And for reference, I've used the standard length Equip RS all last year, and they were good. They were longer than the mill line. So I'm kind of curious to see how long these ones actually are. But look how vented those straps are. I think those are kind of taken from their indoor line. That material. Where it's like ultra breathable, but ultra light as well. So that's cool. TRS. I don't know what the P stands for. Any ideas? TRS is obviously Equip RS, TRS 11. 11 is, I think, their 11th gen. I think. Don't know. Tech RS? Don't know. Okay. Otherwise, so we've got the nice grippers inside. We've got the new chamois, which is going to be super exciting to play with. I'm going to get these washed up, and I'm going to ride them tomorrow. On the front, what do we got here? You know, I'm always worried when I'm riding about the business powering through and giving a little bit of a show to people, so they often actually put another cover on the tip here. So that's kind of nice, and that's the whole point of this inner pocket, is it kind of hides your anatomy nicely. It doesn't press through. I'm curious to see as well this new fabric, how it wears. And if I grab that same pair of Equip RS, this one, you know, I've got it spread between a few different pairs of these Equip RS, but I'll give you an idea of what a used pair looks like from the bottom here. So basically no wear, right? And I wear these all the time. And for reference, it's on a 3D printed saddle, but you end up getting kind of some wear marks. You can kind of see where you sit down a lot of the time with this current fabric. So I'm curious to see how this one actually does over time. And that pad, it feels about the same thickness. I think they're 9 or 10 mils. I think the old one was 9. But although it does feel, maybe just because it's newer, it does feel a tiny bit thicker. Could just be a change in the layers. And I had read somewhere online that they actually changed stuff so that for more aerodynamics and better comfort, potato, tomato, the rolls on this fabric aren't as harsh. So kind of think about it like in terms of like a leather, the bunching of a leather shoe versus the hide on a horse. For like a leather shoe, it doesn't really bunch up like leather does. What's the word I'm looking for there? I don't know. But it's a dress shoe thing. But leather kind of bunches, whereas this is apparently not supposed to. So that's exciting. Does it make a difference? Probably not. Yeah, everything looks pretty solid. And there's even like the little crossbars that hold the strap from separating as well, which is nice. Good logo work. The long leg will be new for me on an Equip. It may be the first Equip bib that they've ever done an extra long leg on, 3 centimeters. But like I said, I'm 6'3", so I'll take it without any problems. I think we're looking at a winner, guys, honestly. And as a recent subscriber and a viewer actually commented, I am not sponsored by Assos. I put my own money onto the products I buy. In this case, in the Assos world, because I actually truly love the products and I believe in them. And I'm excited to try them out. But hopefully I hit some good points there. The new chamois, the grippers, the new back, instead of the double anchor. And I'll try to show that on this one just because I have them and they're right here. So this is what I'm talking about, the double anchor point. So there's 2. Whereas this, they cut that part down. They just anchor it up top. That's what I'm referencing there. This kind of looks very similar to the Equip R style and how they mount, but refinement's at another level compared to that, I find. And then the new fabric, we'll see how it works. And this new chamois, I'm excited to try out and get my feet, jump in, feet first, man, and cool off the nuts with the Bane mask. This is cool. This is going to be a great, I can tell they're going to be a great pair of bibs, assuming everything fits nicely and they haven't altered that. I think it's going to be a great fit. Honestly. I don't see any problems, honestly. So, let's see here, the foam. Yeah, there's the foam inside. Still access to that for cleaning. Oh, that was the other thing I think I read. It was something about how the chamois is now, quote, easier to clean and easier to sanitize. I never had any problems with that. I don't know if I'm if I'm cutting my satchel riding and bleeding all over it. I don't know if that's a problem for some people. And building mold or something, antibacterial quality, this, that. I never have had any problems with that. But maybe some people do, and maybe they just upgraded the fabric to rectify that. But otherwise, I think I'm going to leave you at that. And the next time you'll see a video on this, I will have to check in with you guys and talk about my experience, and I'll give you more of a long-term review. Probably give me another month or 2, and I'll let you know how they're doing. Okay? Thanks for stopping by, guys. Appreciate you, and we'll talk soon. Peace.